Also, Bristleback has been ignored. We were saying earlier today this could be the new meta, but him and Broodmother ignored, and Beastmaster. The book is just totally thrown out so far, unless they're trying to go for a surprise pullout here. Okay, there's
Can I ask you guys a question?
no.
Last game we were talking about the 5 melee lineup, right? There's a lot of criticizing going on. Let's just say the cut, just in general, had played a techies. Let's say you're 5 melee against a techies, no Necronomicon available anymore. Is it possible to win? Legitimately, I'm asking.
So what you would need to do is you would need to get a Helm Dom and get a ranged creep to hit the mines. It would have to be a Troll Summoner, I think, to get the range, because I think a regular ranged creep wouldn't work.
So you could get Helm Dom 2, Helm of the Overhorse to get a bigger creep.
A couple of them, yeah. And a gem. You need a gem as well, but I think you're right. I think it would be almost impossible to lose with the techies in that game.
Even 4v5, mind you.
Techies probably prefers that, to be honest. That's
how does it work with
dream.
How does it work with competitive play? Sorry to take this off on a
You're going far. Come back whenever you feel like it.
In a pub, when the hero gets an abandon, you start getting their gold. But in pro games, I don't think that happens, right? So the 4v5 is actually no advantage whatsoever.
Correct.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've actually watched a 4v5 be played out, so I'm not sure what actually happens there. Good question.
Thank you.
No answer, but a good question.
Couple of great ideas, great thoughts, but circling back to the draft, to Bristleback, which was mentioned briefly before by someone, I'm not sure who, does end up coming out, and he's paired together with the ever so powerful and handsome Keeper of the Light, who I called out like a week or so ago as like this hero has just been totally ignored and taken off the table, it seems. But obviously, you now have a Bristleback who's in the meta. What better man of gasoline than the Coddle himself? But look at this on the other side. This Hoodwink hero comes back again. It's not a confident beam pick. Black and Yellow are saying, we see what you're doing there, Quincy Crew, and we're going to do a bit of it ourselves. The break, of course.
Yeah, I think the break is good. And once again, I still feel this way about the hero, that it's just a generic, decent stunner that does a little bit of everything. You're never unhappy to have a Hoodwink on your team. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a Lina or some hero like that, where maybe Lina's a little bit better at winning the lane, but you're never unhappy to have like a Rubik, Rubik will never dominate or dumpster a lane unless you play really well, but you're never like, oh my god, what, I have a Rubik on my team. I think Hoodwink's about the same. Just a middle of the pack hero, which is cool. It's a new hero. It's not OP. It's not complete trash.
And now an Envy Luna. He was pulling this hero out very early in the season. I've seen all the other top NA cores practicing their farm rotations with the hero. It's been top of the charts on GPM for the region, and Envy's one of the best on it. So, definitely something where you know what to expect, right? So I wonder if the cut can use that to their advantage now. You know how Envy is going to play this hero. If you've watched him play it, which he has many a times, what are you going to do about it? You're going to get in there, disrupt his farming patterns, try to, block out camps, try to, do what you can to stop that pattern, that flow he always has.
The Bristleback, we saw the build last time around was, if I'm not mistaken, Vanguard into Ags, right? Just straight into Ags. But I feel like this game you're going to need a Hood, but you could go Eternal Shroud this game, guys. We're actually going to see potentially Eternal Shroud. You get the spell lifesteal on Bristleback, ridiculous amount of magic damage so far on Black and Yellow. Obviously, the Coddle Bristleback lane is crazy for winning the lane. They just need a mid hero. Void Spirit's still available, I believe. What else? Everything else,
not anymore.
Been banned now. So all the spirits are gone except for Earth. No, he's gone too. My bad.
Ember?
Everybody's gone.
No, Ember's gone too.
Every spirit's that.
We got to go back to, Puck.
It's time for some vengeful spirit.
Whoa.
Am I right, gentlemen? No, not this game. But
please no.
Can they flex the Lesh, or is this definitely mid? Like, could this be offlane Lesh potentially?
Yeah, Zero plays offlane Lesh 100%, and it's a really great lane with either the Nyx or the Hoodwink, because both of these heroes have a fairly reliable setup stun for the Lesh stun. Ooh. So it is offlane, it looks like.
Yeah, they took no time. I mean, they didn't have much reserve time, but they didn't even let the initial clock go down at all. They immediately grabbed the puck and put the plate back over to the cut side and said, "This is it. Now you have to respond. What is your new stand-in gonna play against our puck?"
I
They
think Tiny's the only hero left that's a generic, stunning, run at you mid
DK.
hero, and Red 2 also plays it. DK is the puck counter. Yeah, you could go for that, but
He's a stun.
I feel like
slow.
in this patch, almost any hero can be fine mid, if I'm being honest. Maybe you can't kill puck or anything like that, but as long as you can get some of these runes that pop up every like 10 seconds, what it feels like, you're going to be fine. Especially if you get like you said, a DK, which is already tanky as it is.
We also could be seeing a carry. Well, no, you want to have the coddle with the bristle in a side lane, so it's not going to be a carry. But you could have like a carry-esque mid. Some TA might be decent in this game to just dumpster the puck in lane and play
But later
active
it's
with
bad
the
against
bristle.
Lesh. Right?
It's bad against Lesh later, yeah, for sure. And Luna, honestly, because she gets these illusions and they just glaive you down, tear off the refraction. But you can snowball.
I know this is too far, gentlemen, but Pango mid would be hilarious. Would love to see it. So they can get an off lane here. Everyone else has been banned.
Good call on the
will be
DK.
DK.
There it is.
Okay.
DK Serdavion, the protagonist of the anime, is here for the cut. The cut, they don't have Nick, but do they have it in the draft? Suns fan, I'll start with you this time. Who's got it?
I'm going with the cut. They deserved game 1. They shall get vengeance in game 2. Gaben speaketh something.
Very good.
Jenkins, you listeneth, and what do you sayeth?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a load of bullshit right there coming out of Suns fans' mouth as usual. This is gonna be black and yellow taking this. This is not even remotely as much of an outdraft for the cut, and I think they're gonna win.
All right, our panel's split on this one. Why don't we go ahead and get into the draft and hear what our casters have to say? We'll come back when we have PPD and GoDz.
Yo.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're live now with game number 2 of the Cut versus Black and Yellow. And unfortunately for the Cut, we're all going to stand in here in game number 2, and we're going to see what that brings to the table. Red 2, lower division player for E-Boys, and feeling like, at least on the panel, a bit more of a split here with this game. You know, there was a heavy outdraft in game 1. This one feeling a bit more even, PPD.
Well, you do say that. However, maybe I would disagree. I feel like it's a really great Nyx Assassin game. I actually really like Dire's draft just all around, and Radiant is lacking like a lot of control in my opinion. Like they have a DK stun, and that's kind of it in terms of like setup. So I'm definitely favoring Radiant, and then I'm favoring Dire, and I think that even though Radiant does have the stand-in. It was kind of funny. This guy plays like I play with matchmaking with him a lot. He plays tons of like random like hipster heroes on mid lane, and he's like he's like a super flashy mid player I think. And they banned like every single spirit was out of the pool. Like he loves his Earth Spirit mid. Yeah, he ends up playing like the most like vanilla hero ever, which is DK. I think it's kind of funny.
It feels like a hero every mid player can play, just never wants to. I mean, there are some who enjoy DK, but
I can play DK mid.
Yeah,
like it's one of my go-tos. You know,
I'm the same. You know, I'm primarily playing support, but when you gotta play mid as a support, it's like, all right, DK it is.
Yeah, DK is always a good option. Everybody loves a nice stun in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to lose your lane when you're not a mid player as DK as well. It's like one of the few like very forgiving mid laners.
Yeah, for sure. He's also just has like high HP regen, so it doesn't really matter if you trade kind of badly on the first couple waves.
All right, well, something, yeah, you mentioned insanely good Nyx Assassin game here. Is there potential for this Bristle? We've seen Bristle like dominate in general. Like some people kind of looking at this hero as one of the kind of OP heroes. Do they have the answers for Bristle, do you feel?
What do you feel like is really OP about Bristle right now?
I mean, this is look. I'm referring to other analysts. Jenkins specifically, I'm going to call him out. After game 1 of our previous series, said Bristle's going to be first banned or first picked. It wasn't, but it feels like the hero just kind of snowballs. Like you get these stacks going. Especially sometimes we've seen it even in the mid lane, but like just the way you farm that triangle of camps, the hero just gets out of control very quickly.
Yeah, I think there's something to do with the jungle kind of like I think like the Dire jungle especially, you see like those 3 camps around the outpost, they're so close together. And if you can just like stack all those camps, I think Bristle is, you know, at the best at farming those stacks if they're on your side. But, you know, if he has a good early game, gets an early Vanguard, you can probably go take your enemy stacks too. And you can see how that, you know, how quick you could build an advantage like that.
That's what we saw in the Quincy game, where Quinn got a Arcane Rune and suddenly he's in that Radiant Triangle farming like their triple or quad stack of Ancients. So
Yeah.
I think the fact it stops your opponents from stacking is pretty huge. If you, like you say, if you get off to a good start, the game can just be kind of won off of stealing their stacks.
Yeah, it seems especially good in the mid lane too, right? You get all those bottle charges and
Yeah.
but here he does have the Coddle, which will, you know, give him somewhat, you know, unlimited mana.
And in the top lane, we've already had the Grimstroke starting to stack those Ancients very early on. I imagine that's going to be a trend we see continue. As, you know, these lanes kind of play out slowly. Bottom lane, they've gone in with an Impale. Leshrac did not go for the follow-up stun. He's held on to it. Still going to look for it. No, he's just going to right-click down the Bristle. Didn't even need to use the stun.
Wow. Okay, so that death is... Man, Bristle is... I feel like it's just not a hero that likes to play from behind. But this Coddle doesn't really offer too much in the lane, so I do see how he did go down. Dyer's
a lot of
definitely
magic damage, yeah.
Yeah, Dyer's definitely looking to be aggressive in this lane. Bristleback, kind of hard to get through, but early levels, you know, he's not... You know, until he gets this Vanguard, he's not really that hard of a kill.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like we've seen more success out of the mid Bristle, is because of the fact you know, you're not getting solo killed in mid lane. You have all that regen from all the runes, whereas against a Nyx Lesh lane, there's a lot of damage to pressure him. And with, no points in passive. Level 3, no points in passive. Nothing wrong with the build, but he's just not very tanky.
You need like an extra tool for HP in this lane. Otherwise, you need to buy like a ton of regen, just because you're giving the enemy team like so much mana through magic sticks. So you're just getting spammed with spells like constantly. So if you don't have a way to get your HP back, yeah, I can see you getting kind of poked down.
Yeah, and has, you know, investing 500 golden boots, this is not an item that makes you particularly tankier or...
Yeah, that's true. Golden
sustainable.
boots was an interesting choice.
Well, we're going to see how he adjusts here. We've got S going in, invading, taking the enemy bounty rune in the top jungle. Also perhaps scouting out some of those stacks.
Him gets a nice bottle refill, and then he's going to be able to... And the mid lane is such a dance right now between these bounties and the water runes. And like in between, you're like stacking the camps for yourself as well. Certain heroes pull it off really well.
Yeah. Bottom lane, another stun coming out. Bristle getting pressure a little bit, but has some stick charges. Definitely the mid lane on this new patch feels like it's just been kind of reinvented, and I don't know, it feels like something that, you know, is going to see perhaps some further tweaks just because of how many runes there are and how farm heavy it's become.
Yeah, it's definitely looks really different. I agree with you. I don't really have it quite figured out myself, to be honest. Still trying to understand.
Well, we'll see how it unravels right now. Esk and Red 2 just trading their farm away. Until there's rotations, wouldn't expect any kind of a kill there, but rotation's definitely possible around a potential level 6 from someone like Puck. Although DK with raindrops is a very hard kill.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think it's so great that Esk is finding his place like on a mainstream NA team. I think he's like such a great mid laner, and he's been like showing tons of promise. So, you know, a couple years ago you're just hearing about CCNC and Quinn, and you know, this guy's on a path, I think, which is really great.
I mean, something, I think it was Jenkins mentioned, is like this is one of the few guys who's actually beat Quinn mid in one of the games. So has looked very promising.
We shouldn't overhype him too much, right? He's still got a lot to do, but it's nice to see him playing with this team, and I think playing with Envy, he's going to learn a lot.
Well, there was another kill bottom on the Bristle about 30 seconds ago, so the woes continue for Scourge McDuck. Envy is being pressured on the top lane, though, so there is kind of a response from the cut in their own offlane. Envy taking a lot of harass, going for a very greedy, Morbid Mask rush.
Might have a coil top. Oh, they missed the next time. Okay, but they do force him off the rune, which is nice. Nice rotation there by Yamson. Scourge McDuck's finally getting his Ring of Health on the Bristleback. I bet he wishes he would have got this item first and maybe skipped those boots.
Yeah,
for what we were talking about earlier. But he does finally have it. He should be, you know, stabilizing in the lane.
And the comeback goal is, I mean, at that, you know,
He's
once
got
you
the
start farming your
stacks.
ancients, it's like, yeah, you've got stacks. At that point, you're not even, it's not really comeback. I mean, kind of, it's comeback goal, but once he farms that, he's going to be probably top net worth. So
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of how Bristleback needs to be because of what he
Foil
lacks
top?
in, like, he's usually like an over farmed, but he's kind of like a Viper where he's kind of slow, he's hard to catch people.
yeah, you want to be playing from ahead and
Exactly.
staying ahead and
Exactly.
getting further and further ahead with those stacks. So,
Of course.
oh, right
Yeah,
now,
what happened top? There was some
just a
deaths?
coil,
Just a
puck
coil.
rotation. But I think it was puck TP in, gets a kill.
Yeah, nice. S gets active really early on his heroes. We saw him make all those rotations last game on Tiny. This game choosing to help out his carry rather than go at the enemies. It's
And
pretty
before
nice.
that, Envy was getting pressured a lot, but he's about to explode. He's got Mask of Madness. He rushed this Morbid Mask, has a Mask of Madness, 3 points in Glaives. He's hidden up the jungle. He is done with the lanes.
And it's a good time to do it. And it's, you know, you're up against the Pangolier. You know, that Pangolier gets level 6. You're playing Luna. You're gonna have to like be full HP with treads, maybe a Wraith Band if you expect to live that ultimate. But here you can just buy the mask and just piece off to the jungle and give the lane to the Hoodwink, who once he gets some points in this scurry, right, he can run through the trees. And he's a really great hero to sit in these dead lanes.
Another kill on Bristle. That's the third death for poor Scourge McDuck. We'll see if Tinglekin can get a response top. It's just a 5-position Hoodwink, so even if they get this kill, it's not as big of a
There he
kill.
goes.
He gets the point in Scurry, so we can get over these trees. The Tango
Oh,
looking for the
you-
roll. Oh,
you can't
Jubei, he's
find him.
juked. Oh
You
my
can't
god.
Yeah, we
Okay.
found him.
Pokes him out. Jubei. Is he going to go down here? Yep.
Yeah.
There's enough damage.
Yeah, he's got the Orb of Corrosion too, so there's no running from this guy. But nice try there by Jubei. Interesting hero, right? It's kind of like Treant Protector. Makes him a really, really good dead laner, I think.
Yeah. As soon as he got dove on there, he's like, okay, get my skill point in Scurry and try and get the hell out of here, but not quite enough. End of the day, not a huge problem. His 3 cores all farming very well. Envy's hit the level 7, so max Glaives. It's also nice to fall back to the jungle at that 7-minute mark because he instantly farms up all those neutral items for the team, so things are looking pretty good for black and yellow so far here.
Always good to do your stacks after 7 minutes, right? Get those first neutral items.
Foil top. They lose their tower here, but there is a response here as Puck is going to come in, bring down Tingle King. That's making a nice move in Volt. He's going to be next in the firing line as he goes down.
Yeah, Radiant did get the tower, but obviously not ideal for them to lose their heroes. DK's investing a lot in his own game right now. You can see he's not really making any rotations. He's focused on pushing the mid tower, so when he does get his Blink Dagger, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to make some stuff happen.
And it feels like they got those kills top while they were giving up. Not this bottom tier one's still alive, but it took a lot of damage. Zero, though, may get punished for this one as Tingle King makes the rotation with the Rolling Thunder following up. As Zero should be going down here. Doesn't have anything to bounce off, so he's looking for the roll. Can't juke him. Tingle King will bring him down.
Man, those rolls look like they were impossible to dodge, or Les was just so slow, right? I don't know. I feel like you can usually like dance a little bit, right?
Are you good at dodging the old Panga rolls?
I think that you get to make a move, right? There's like an attempt.
Yeah.
I feel like he was almost like locked. Like he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, and that was in like the wide open. It wasn't like he was near any kind of cliffs or anything.
Exactly,
but-
exactly.
Yeah, well played by Pingo.
Yeah, bad dance moves from Ping.
Yeah. Or bad. For a
Learn to
disco
juke.
hero. Yeah,
He's got
come
a
on.
lot of juke. Exactly. He's got the disco ball as well.
Alright, well, he's right back to the bottom lane, looking to pressure the tier 1 tower again. Usually this tower would have gone down, but because of that move top, they didn't have the, the backup they needed. Heroes like the Puck. And I think this time Zero with the Edict should be able to finish off the tier 1 tower, and we'll see Black
Pingo
and Yellow
rolls.
get their first
It's almost
tower.
up. Rolling Thunder. 5
Okay.
seconds. So
Well.
he's definitely delaying it. They have a glyph as well, so this edict will not finish it.
Yeah, and Zero decides not to commit for this one. Siege Creeper's there, and Tingle King is going in, but the Vendetta's there, and he does not have detection, so Zero backs off with a mech, so that heal should be more than enough. And Tingle King this time is being juked, so he's going to get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
They're
without
rolling
the
thunder now.
without the Rolling Thunder, this tower is donezo for sure. But a lot of tower damage going on top for Radiant, and they are keeping up with the stacks. So you see the Bristleback. I mean, Radiant's net worths do look pretty good. So pretty even early game, I'd say.
Yeah. And do you like what you're seeing, Bristle, going into this dire jungle, kind of trying to take away some of Envy's farm, it feels like?
Oh yeah, definitely. This is where I think you want to be, and then I think here come pretty soon. Like maybe once you finish your hood, I think you want to try and get up in that radiant, or sorry, in that dire triangle, and really shut down this Luna.
Boy on mid.
Farming stacks.
They've gone in. The Nyx and the Puck have maybe bit off more than they can chew. The DK is just too damn tanky with the one charges.
Double
They turn
DK
it
stun
around.
from the double DK stun from the Soulbind there.
Yeah. And this is a tier 1 mid tower now that following those kills they should be able to bring down with the dragon form. Got a salve and some Tengos kicking in for red too.
All right. Radiant's got some moves, and Lesh, he's okay.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, this is all while Envy farms. He is top of the net worth, so at no point has Bristle really overtaken Envy, who just farmed an ancient stack of his own.
Oh, they're going on him.
Yeah.
He missed the initial.
Oh,
Q.
there's the
See, look,
jukes.
that's what I'm saying. Like you can
Ping.
dodge.
Yep. Lesh needs to watch and learn. But he's still going down. Oh, Envy, one charges. Yeah, he turns around, gets off one Lucent Beam, but he is going to get brought down. Nice retaliation perhaps from Black and Yellow, but they just don't quite have enough damage to finish off any of these kills. Both DK and Pengo so low. Luckily, Zero shows up to clean up some of these kills. He gets the first, he's looking for the second now,
look at
and with
Esco.
Puck's help, they'll get 3.
They get the Luna, which is always really, I feel like carry kills count as like 2 or 3 heroes almost. So that was nice. However, the overextension and Eska's just there to clean up.
Yeah, he's perhaps going to find some more here. Pingu underneath the tower trying to de-push things, but
Are fortified.
could be in for some trouble. Is very speedy here, and with Puck missing the orb, it looks like he will survive, so. Nice moves from the Coddle.
Nice D word there by Yemsen. Radiant's looking very blind right now.
They are gonna group up. No vision, they say no problem. We'll just group as 5 and take out Janssen on the next assassin. They go searching for more, charging in. Zero's kind of low, but has got the mech here, and Juve's gonna. Well,
And there we
get
go.
himself
He's
out
in.
of some trees. Yeah.
He's found his place. This is a new home.
All right. Yeah. Take over this Luna's Ancients. This
Yeah, so this is the beginning of the rat game. Like the Dire's gonna play side lanes, dodge, maybe fight when Luna hits an item timing. Puck gets blink, something like that. So Radiant's gonna have to work on catching Dire, and Dire's gonna work on, defending their mid tower and splitting on side lanes.
Scanning.
It does feel like, yeah, Black and Yellow are not at a strong timing. Like the Puck not having Blink Dagger. Leshric does have Greave, so Lesh is a pretty tanky frontliner, but, Luna's not really ready to fight, hasn't finished the SMY, hasn't got points in the Lucent Beam for the Eclipse yet, so, a couple more levels on Luna, and a Puck Blink Dagger, then you're looking at Black and Yellow being ready to take a big fight, perhaps.
Dire is looking to make a play, but they find the Coddle. I just don't think they can go into this Bristleback right now. I think he's probably just a little too beefy.
They're going to test that. With a Rolling Thunder coming in, this should be able to keep Scorch McDuck alive. Tingle King, once again, finds the Leshruck with the roll, gets a nice chain stun going. 4 stuns, make it 5. The Soulbind to follow it up. Puck and Noel's Lesh, they're surviving through this with the Greaves and exit kill of Tingle King. Leshruck is just so tanky with this Greaves aura. Red 2 now going to get caught by a nice split earth here, and Zero is out of there, has a TP. Can he juke? He's juking around the trees. He does a little do-si-do as he turns around. The damage is there. Red 2 gets him with the stun. Still a decent fight for Black and Yellow overall, I feel like. Luna is farming during all this.
Yeah, I think testing the Bristleback there was not ideal. I think it's pretty safe to say like he's, maybe not unkillable if like Luna is there with ultimate, but with just the 4 of them, right? They're really lacking damage. So got to stay away from him. I think it should be the game plan right now.
It felt like it could have gone worse, and the fact they get a 2 for 2 and both teams lose an offlaner, it's like, well, considering they went on Bristle when they can't kill Bristle, that's a pretty good outcome, because things could have very quickly gotten ugly.
Yeah, and Envy was farming during this too, right? All of Radiant's heroes were there, so that was pretty good space. And yeah, Dire did get out. I think they got out pretty fortunately, right? Like you said, I think it could have been a little bit worse.
See the nuisance that is Hoodwink, just so hard to gank and kill there. Even when DK finds a stun initiation, he just kind of scurries out of there. And
Grimstroke is going for the Ags though, the counter Luna item, right?
well, maybe go time for Black and Yellow. They probably don't want to have to fight into that one. They find Tingle King in the mid lane. Could be looking for more here. Vol Gonna turn, get the silence out. The Leshtrek is still dealing some good damage here on the front lines. Doesn't have the Greaves anymore, so looks like Zero will be forced
And
back.
here comes Bristleback.
Yeah. Not sure you want to mess with this guy. And Red 2 has a great little setup, but a great counter stun from Yamsen. Gets the 2 heroes done into a carapace here, but Zero still going to go down. And now Yamsen may pay the price for his assistance.
Look at him go.
Save your buddy, Syndrome.
Bristleback is working nicely, but Envy, going with the correct approach here, maxing, the farming spells, split pushing. He's going to be what his timing will be.
Dire's middle tower is
I
under
don't think
attack.
he'll go for BKB, right? Maybe just Butterfly or Satanic?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not sure. I think he might need a
Dire's
BKB
middle
because
tower
of
is under
Pangolier.
attack.
That's true. We'll find out perhaps soon enough, because he is farming very quickly, so his next item is not too far away. Needs to be careful. He's near a lot of Radiant heroes, but Envy wants to fight. He's got level 2 Eclipse, so he's charging in.
Oh.
He's going to go charging in with that Eclipse, take out the support Grimstroke, perhaps looking for the next ones. Coddle getting caught, and that's both supports dead. This fight falling apart quickly for the cut. Bristle alone, it feels like, has some backup from Red 2, but that's a DK who didn't get his Dragonfall off, and they just quickly killed 4. That's Envy's timing. It's leveling up the Eclipse. He finally got level 2 Eclipse and maxed out the Lucent Beam last, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, the Eclipse level 2 was huge there, but the bigger thing, I think, was this high ground ward they had on the hill that Radiant just didn't get rid of.
Yep.
Yeah, that cost them huge there. Dire saw everything in their triangle, and yeah, they kind of like surrounded them on all different sides. They managed to take out a support to start the fight, and then clean up the rest. And the Bristleback, who I kind of thought was unkillable, with Luna coming in, he went down pretty fast, to be honest.
Yeah. It just felt like nobody on the cut got any of their spells off, and
Yeah, I don't think they weren't ready to fight there at all. Like, Pangolier wasn't even there.
right after that, Black and Yellow, back off and slow things down. They're waiting on Dreamcall. They're going to wait for Eclipse to come back up. It looks like Butterfly is the item of choice for Envy. He's going to have that in no time at all at this rate.
Yeah, Butterfly into Satanic, I think he might be the boss of the game. Maybe with an Aegis.
That definitely sounds like a timing. Those 3 items, really, with the SMY. And of course, you can disassemble the Mask of Madness. Well, do you feel like the cut have to keep getting aggressive? Because it doesn't really feel like their draft is going to scale. Like, Bristle, Pango, DK, I don't think they can afford to go late game against this Luna.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure this Bristle is really having the best game, and I think that their lineup really just kind of lacks that catch that would have stopped Envy from split pushing to the extreme and just farming this game. They haven't really been able to force Roshan or take any tier 2s, so the speed of the game, it's just not fast enough, I think, for Radiant's lineup.
We'll see if that's something they can change anytime soon. They do seem to be trying to finish another item or 2. No immediate moves as they try and farm out some of their jungle and get, Bristle a bit more before they get ready to go again. But this is just giving Black and Yellow all the time in the world to get Envy to come online. Butterfly picked up, about to hit level 18, so that 3rd point in Eclipse will be ready for that next team fight.
And he'll probably be showing up for that. And I feel like the only way that 5v5 team fight would happen is if Radiant is in either A, a really bad spot, or B, they try to force Roshan. But I don't see them forcing Rosh anytime soon.
Yeah. And Black and Yellow able to pick their fights. Yamsen doing a really good job just scouting with this Vendetta. Does feel like Radiant a bit light on sentry wards. Perhaps just not having the gold for it, or just, not being as proactive. They really want this Grimstroke Ags, and Tingle Kings can get picked off in the top lane with a nice puck rotation, so...
These are the most frustrating games to play when you feel like you have to fight, but you can't.
Yeah.
You're just waiting on your opponents to, make some horrible mistake where you can catch them out, being a little too cocky or something.
Things aren't going to get any better for the cut, it feels like, unless they do make a move, but they're the ones who have kind of resorted a little bit to some kind of split push in ways.
No Medallion or Solar Crest for Radiant. That could have helped them force Roshan earlier, potentially. I think that's really what timing they miss is you get the Blink Dagger on your Dragon Knight, you pop a smoke, you go to somewhere around the mid lane, you get 1 or 2 kills, boom, straight into Roshan with your medallion. Get Aegis, go at the tier 2s. You know what I mean? Then take the map, chill,
Yeah.
farm, take some fights, wait for
Well,
second Roche, go high ground.
It seems like their new timing and plan is this Dark Portrait. And Luna definitely one of the better heroes to use it on.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it can't get stunned, right? So the Carapace won't do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, he is still quite a bit a ways, right?
Yeah, getting 1,000 gold on a Grim, not easy. And I guess they didn't get the... Well, they do have a Philosopher's Stone. Grimstroke, my friend.
All right. Yes.
What are you doing?
Pick that up ASAP.
That is in the war chest of neutral items. Somebody's got to pick it up.
Doesn't even have to steal it from a teammate. It's just there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, between him and Cuddle, that is
also
a huge mistake.
This guy's neutral item game is not looking great. Okay, somebody took the stone. He's got it.
It's coming. It's coming.
He heard you. He heard you. Now it's time for somebody to take the Ring of Aquila. God, I don't think we need the Ironwood Tree anymore.
Yeah, well, you gotta up your neutral game. Dyer's they've got a Dragon Scale and People's Gift going unused, but perhaps neither item great on any of their heroes.
That's what we got here. Yeah, Phil, they got really good neutral items.
Maybe Nyx could use the Dragon Scale or something. I don't think that Broom Handle's doing him much good.
No, I think the People's Gift would be nice, right? Because he's an agility hero, so he gets strength and intelligence from that.
Yeah,
it's actually huge for him.
I like it.
But he doesn't want it. He wants the Broom Handle for the increased attack range on the Vendetta, of course.
True.
Obviously.
Well, they're smoking up. They're making their move here.
No BKB yet on DK. Very
They're
close.
Baiting this last track. They also perhaps want to go before this Axe is up.
Yep, but look at Radiant, man. They're just kind of standing around mid, like hoping Dire fights them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're going with the Blink Rolling Thunder. They catch. Oh, Puck gets the phase shift off, and S. Oh, he gets stunned after it. He actually didn't get a chance to use his Blink Dagger. Didn't phase shift for long enough. It looked like, or was facing the wrong direction. So
I was hyping Esk. To be fair, I don't think he knew Pangolier had a blink. So that was a nice blink reveal from Tingle King, who's actually playing a pretty good Pangolier this game. I've been impressed.
I imagine he also didn't expect to get that phase shift off. It looked like he was about to get chain stun, but there was just a tiny little window to get it off, and then he kind of canceled the phase shift a bit early.
All right, so here we go. They got the move, right? They got the kill. Oh. They got the space. Now they're going to go hit Roche. No medallion, but they've got Pangolier who can disarm Roche. Makes it pretty easy for them.
Yep. Doesn't look like, no contest from Black and Yellow. They'll give this one up, push out some of these lanes. But great move from Tingle King to set that one up. Yeah, Pango's really been... I mean, he's 3-6-5. It's not the best scoreline, but it feels like every good move has come out of his Pangolier this game.
He's got the Eternal Shroud on Bristleback. I'm interested to see how this item works out. I know this item is really good on Leshrac. Don't know if I've seen it on Bristle, though.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
should be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, against a lot of kind of uncontrollable damage, you're pretty much guaranteed to get all of that magic damage into mana. Against Lesh, against Puck, against Eclipse.
Okay.
I don't know. Seems decent.
Yeah, no, definitely an interesting item. But, one of the newer ones, so always excited to see it work on different heroes.
One of those items that feels like it's somewhat built for a hero like Bristle, where you're getting the spell Lifesteal as well, so...
Got a blink, too. The blink Bristle. Doesn't want to get kited. I like it.
Okay. Something a bit different.
Ursa's, they go Battle Fury, and if they get the Aegis, sometimes they just buy the blink rather than going the BKB. This time it's like that, but Bristle.
Big fight brewing. Pango gonna roll from very far away, has the Blink Dagger, catches the Leshrac as he's trying to TP on out of there. Now the chase is on as it looks like Gamson's going to get out of there. No detection.
Gosh, didn't even see him, but he almost got him.
Blinking Bristle. Catches S, but that's a puck. Not going to kill him.
Yeah, this is all of a sudden a pretty close game.
Yeah, it feels like the cut finally you're like, okay, we can actually do this. We can take these fights. And this is before we've seen any Dark Portrait action. So Ag Scepter is up on the Grimstroke now.
Found Nyx.
Yep, it's going to go down, TP out. He goes down. Grimstroke, meanwhile, bottom lane does go down as well. That's Envy with the Eclipse being used.
Oh, Eclipse down. Maybe Radiant marches to high ground here. They're missing Grimstroke, though. and their DK form's almost out. So actually, no, you just used it.
Envy's picked up the shard, the good old Lucent Beam
Dire's
attacks.
middle tower has fallen.
Wow, he actually bought it. Thought he just most carry players just wait for that second
Radiant's
Roche.
top tower is under attack.
I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think it's really good, but he could have maybe got the second Roche and then just gone Satanic, and I do think he will need BKB eventually. I feel like the lockdown is. And maybe with Satanic SNY, it's fine.
Another kill onto Tingle King. Unfortunately, he's being picked off a few times, so while he's set up some good fights, he's getting picked here and there. Puck needs an escape, though. Gets the blink to the high ground. We'll be able to orb away.
Yeah, really hard for them to force much with this Aegis. I feel like Scourge is kind of asking his team. I've seen him ping the high ground a couple times. I feel like they need to just man up and march.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be playing this pick off and go for kills game because he's a Bristle. Like, you just never find kills as a Bristle.
Yeah, they're just getting split push all over the place right now.
Well, they're chasing black and yellow around the map, and that's, you know, playing into Envy's hands as he's about to finish his Satanic now, so...
Radiant, what are we doing? We're just hanging out bottom lane. I guess they're trying to push these towers, so they're playing mid and bottom.
Maybe they're
Bristle.
hoping that black and yellow make another move to, like, go push mid. Because that's where they've looked the best, is when black and yellow grouped up to, you know, take a fight. And they're obviously more than happy to take a team fight.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. I feel like Radiant was just sitting behind their tier 1 tower, hoping that Dire would jump on them. And they did. And I don't think Dire shouldn't really be making those jumps or those pushes unless it's under, like, ideal conditions.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They're now looking to utilize the Aegis to push down this bottom lane, which is, I think,
Dire's bottom
what
He's
we're
got-
maybe expecting.
A 1 minute on the Aegis right now.
Dire's bottom tower
Gotta be careful,
is under
because
attack.
Eclipse has now come back online as well, and now defense is on. There's a Puck TP back, but this tower's starting to take some damage pretty quickly. As they doesn't really feel like they're in position to defend this one. The DK look for a blink stun, has a gem of True Sight now as well, as they glyph the tower,
Structures are fortified.
looking to take out the siege wagon.
Aegis is
Fortunately-
28, so they may want to wait to pop him, but maybe we could just get him right now.
Radiant's top
Dire's
tower
gonna
is
back,
under
though.
attack.
It looks like this may be the end of the push. Dragon Form's used and expiring, so...
Yeah, I can't say that was enough, in my opinion. I think Radiant didn't really take full advantage of that Aegis, and I think it might cost them.
Dire are
But
scared.
they're gonna go march again. But DK form is gonna go down soon.
Looked like they were trying to bait a kill. Pengo was charging the roll, but nobody was fishing around that bottom lane. If actually, black and yellow top, so they're...
So, where do we go from here? I think Radiant needs a Smoke of Deceit on next Dragon form. Make some stuff happen. I mean, there's no Aegis, so either side would be down to fight if they can find a fight like in their own vision.
Yep.
Dire's got the better wards though at the moment.
And a fight where there's no dragon form definitely plays into black and yellow's hands, but
Yeah,
not
they're
going to
getting
happen.
kind
Looks
of
like.
yeah, they're getting kind of trapped in this bottom lane though. It's gonna the net worth is gonna start
Radiant's
tipping
top
for
tower
Dire.
is under attack.
They don't make some moves.
And we'll finish off this top tier 2 tower and no
Radiant's
defense in
top
sight.
tower has fallen.
Cut going to let this one go, and imagine
Okay.
we'll see both teams kind of just posturing, playing around their wards now, kind of as you mentioned.
Yeah, the priority on farm is always, you know, lane creeps, and then I guess ancients are even better, right? But those two, and if you're not farming any ancients, you can expect to be like losing out on net worth.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
So Dire's, you know, got control of Radiant's triangle, and no one's farming Dire's triangle, which means that Radiant should be looking for a fight. Otherwise, they're going to be missing out big time.
I mean, Riders, you kind of called it. They need a Smoke of Deceit. They've got it with the next Dragon form coming up, so they're ready to go. They've got the Fireball as well. DK opting for the Shard, and
Yeah, they've got no vision, so they've got to smoke in, place a ward, or bait this bristle. But yeah, they're just kind of going back to that same spot where there's just no Dire heroes.
I mean, and the reason they're not there is they kind of recognize this is not the safe part of the map. The Radiant Ancients is where they could farm safely.
Yeah. Dire's happy to play over here as long as Radiant isn't going high ground. But if Radiant goes high ground, that means they're going to be in Dire's vision, which means that they can take a favorite team fight.
Yeah.
They're happy just to play around Roche and wait for that, which will also force Radiant to run into their vision. But we've got to go.
Yep, they're going on the Leshrac here. Can they burst down the Lesh? They get the follow-up stun as well. The leash coming out, but Leshrac keeping alive with the BKB as well as the Greaves. The right-click damage isn't going to be enough. You betcha. They get the kill on the Lesh to start things off. And now Yamsen going to look to catch a stun on the backlines. They want the Grimstroke here. They bring him down.
Bristle went down in the back.
Yeah. And I don't believe they got a good Dark Portrait off there. Or at least if they did, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so this wasn't a badly timed go. Roshan is probably not going to be up before Bristle is up, so it's not like a game over kind of fight. Second Roche will be it will be the game, I think.
Yeah. And Black and Yellow were so ready for that fight because Envy did go back for that BKB you mentioned that he's going to need, and with that plus an Elven Tunic, it feels like this Luna is just unstoppable in these fights.
And Bristle does not have buyback, so they can maybe defend here. Envy's BKB is on cooldown, so he does need to be a little bit careful about this next Pangolier roll. And he's probably just going to back up, farm Radiant's triangle. Okay, cut top.
Sure, I'd love to take the tier 3 and get those bounces going on the Rex, but very annoying into the lucky shot disarm.
Yeah, it's just so risky, because if you're Dire and you tank a death over here, all of a sudden you have to, if you don't have buyback, you might just have to give up Roshan. If you have buyback, you might just have to use it because you don't want to just give Roche. And then if you use the buyback and then you die again, there you go, like lights out.
Well, speaking of Roshan, has respawned and right on cue, the cut smoke up. They de-ward with Pingu's Coddle, but I believe if he came out of smoke there, I think Black and Yellow know fully well kind of what's going on, and they're just posturing around their high ground near the Roshan pit. They don't have Eclipse for 38 seconds, though, so kind of hairy moment here. Pingo glimmers in, pops down the ward, immediately de-warded.
I think Radiant's doing the right thing, though. They do need to force Dire off their hill, which will require them to hit Roshan. The longer they wait, the worse their lanes are probably going to be. But we're back to a stalemate. They have another smoke, so there's an opportunity for them to get onto Dire sides of the map. This ward, though, you can see how OP this ward is for Roche fights. It's so important that Dire defends this hill because of the vision that this ward gives, and that's why it's so important for Radiant not to take a fight over here unless they you need a plan for this ward.
And it almost feels like these heroes are camping here just so that if there's the ward on there, they can instantly de-ward it. But...
Yeah, exactly. And when they go to de-ward it, you should go on them because that's your vision, that's your initiation. Yep. A lot of times the support does it, right? You saw Coddle, kind of, the squishiest hero on Radiant, risking everything for going for that ward. Could have easily died.
With the buyback, too. He's like, if I die, I have buyback, and we can perhaps win a good fight. But Black and Yellow smoked up. They want to force this and get a good initiation. Esk with the puck, looking for that good jump here. Vol, perhaps out of position on the Grimstroke. He could go down. He gets caught with the stun. He does not have buyback, which means they've got no Dark Portrait for this one. Tingle King on the Pengo gets a decent rolling Thunder off. Envy doesn't BKB until now. He now goes, turns, right-clicks, takes out the Bristle. He wants Tingle King next. He's looking for him with the Lucent Beam hits, but doesn't quite get him. Now the blink out. It's getting it cancelled. Has a blink in a couple of seconds, and Jubei in hot pursuit isn't going to catch him with the ensnare.
Yeah, disastrous fight for Radiant. The Grimstroke dying there first was a worst case scenario for them. He needs to, he needs, what I like to say, he's missing his wall, right? And his wall is often like, maybe this Coddle who has a buyback, right? Who doesn't care if he dies first. Or maybe it's the Bristleback or the DK who has a BKB. But Iris is looking for fights where they can find Radiant supports at the very start. And that was great play from Dire, but a little bit of unpreparedness from Radiant.
I guess,
not expecting that smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Not expecting the smoke. Otherwise, Grimstroke would not have been positioned that far forward. Because this Grim has a Blink Dagger, so can play very far back and look to blink in for that Soulbind Dark Portrait, obviously, on Envy, once you see him in a fight. 16k gold lead all of a sudden. This was a kind of very tight neck-and-neck game throughout the mid-game, but entering the late game, it does feel like things getting a little bit tricky for them, as now they have to deal with an Aegis Luna.
Yeah, and bottled DD now, so here comes the high ground push.
Yep. Well, they do need to push out these lanes.
Yeah, I really liked Irish draft this game. I think there was a ton of synergy. I've seen this Hoodwink hero a couple times. The more I see it, the more I like it. Great Solar Crest buyer, right? Just put that on this Luna, who's super farmed. They've got really great catch, and their lineup is kind of hard to catch, right? The puck. I mean, this is like 2 games of last pick puck almost, and it's been such a great puck game because of that for both of them.
Yeah, and even after the nerf, we can clearly see puck still can be a very high impact mid hero.
Yeah, it's just it's just less of a first pick, right? It's still a good hero in the right game, but it used to be a good hero in every game, which was why it's also nerfs. Or you saw it being played as a 5. It's like that's when a core is broken, when it's just getting first pick and played as a 5.
There's a Dark Portrait, but this Dark Portrait, Envy's just ignoring it. I thought he might just kill it with his double damage, but
nah, he doesn't. It doesn't do damage to him. It does damage to other people though.
Dire's bottom tower
backing
has
off
fallen.
with the silence on it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's more I thought he might want to, help his teammates out by killing it, but he'll come back and kill it now.
Problem is it's cutting the waves, which is super annoying.
Those siege wagons, that's what you want to keep alive here. Envy's happy to tank the tower. He's probably going to get disarmed as well, but, he's just being constantly poked at. Has the Satanic, has the Aegis. He's not worried about dying here. He's just worried about keeping his siege wagons, his creeps alive. Now with the tower down, that should be Rax. Defend. Ooh, okay, they're going to back off.
Yeah, being very
No
passive. Oh, they're dealing with the Dark Portrait.
Yeah, that cooldown on it. It's so low.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
But without a tier 3 tower, this is where Luna really excels,
Dire's
Fireball,
middle
it's
tower is under attack.
just melting everything.
They're gonna back off
Dire.
a little bit.
What is Dire waiting for? Like, are they actually waiting for next Roche? Like,
Dire's middle tower
this is their
under
timing.
attack.
Let's get up there and hit that building.
Dark Portrait's
Oh,
using Envy just
no.
backs up.
We're going late game.
I mean, Envy's like, I'm waiting for level 30.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The Portrait
Envy.
life sealing too, like, oh god,
Have mercy, Envy. I mean, it's already 1-0. They're playing with a stand-in. Like, don't do this to him.
oh dear.
He's taking them to his world.
Yeah. I mean, the Portrait cooldown is basically the same as the creep. 35 and the creeps every 30 seconds. So you basically can use it for every creep wave almost.
If you think about it, Radiant are like Envy's prisoners right now. They get to be in this game as long as he says they can be, or it says they have to be.
Yeah. But I mean, they're just hoping for that jailbreak opportunity, though.
Yeah.
Catch
or
the
they
guard sleeping. It's Envy. He's known for some of those games.
or they'll sit in their base and be like down like 40k, and they'll be like, "All right, guys, you just want to leave." It could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
The lead is going to get bad here pretty soon if Envy doesn't push with this. Because I don't think Radiant can fight. So Envy's like, this is like a farming Aegis.
I mean, it is one of the more frustrating lines to push high ground into.
That's true. It is a bit annoying.
Let's see if there's any big items they're waiting for. Not so much on Envy. I mean, he's kind of 6-slotted with the Aegis. Will have a slot if he wants to go bootsless once the Aegis expires.
This is what Sunsfan was talking about with the Wraith King thing, where Envy like sold 2 of his items and replaced them and just ate all the farm, and then they threw the 20k lead they had or whatever against, was it Quincy Crew?
The Quincy
or
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a Quincy one.
Yeah, anyways, it was against one of the good teams. Maybe it was, yeah, it was Quincy Crew or EG, I can't remember. But
Well, the cut have had enough, Peter. They're smoking up. They're making a move. They're not really making a move towards any dire heroes, unfortunately.
no, they just moved. They're moving out to get a ward, because they have a ward, they have a place to play around. So if Nyx walks in, right,
He'll do just that.
they're happy to fight. Maybe they can finish him. And now they
Meanwhile,
need
Bristles found Juve. Well, actually,
Okay.
Bristle got recalled in.
Yo,
Okay.
watch out for Luna, guys. Watch out for Luna.
Nyx is going to buy back, and they've got the outpost to TP2. Luna coming in with the Eclipse doing a hell of a lot of damage, and they've got no answer for Envy, except the Disarm, which is not a bad solution here, with the Dark Portrait as well doing some good damage here. Bristle, he needs to turn his back away from Envy. He's still going to die, even with his back turned. He still gets brought down. Envy is just unkillable, doing too much to these Radiant heroes. Kills off 3, forcing out some buybacks.
This was not your fight, Radiant. There's no way you have the tools to deal with this Luna right now. Impossible. It was great to get the pick off on the Nyx, but that was it. Get the pick off on the Nyx, force Dire's hero to come to the bottom lane so you can then go to the top lane and get some farm. But
Felt like we've got a ward, let's fight by our ward, but
yes, they fought, to the death. All of them on that ward. So it was a plan, right?
yeah. Oh, the plan now is to Dark Portrait it up.
It was just a bad plan, but at least they had a plan.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, you talk about them being prisoners. It does feel like Grimstroke is also one of the heroes keeping everyone prisoner right now with this
Yeah,
Dark
that's
Portrait.
actually true. He is kind of griefing, I think.
And then he just says, enough is enough. I'm going for the base. Forget Rax. They haven't taken a single Rax. He's going for tier 4s, and I don't blame him. He's going to force a triple buyback here. Puck's going to coil and look to get the hell out of there. It snipes the Coddle, and Grimstroke goes down as well. No more Dark Fortress now. No buyback. It's your time, Envy. Let's go. As Tingle King trying to bounce his way around this one, they will look to focus down Zero, who's got a BKB and a Greaves. He has the pipe as well. He's just healing everyone back up. It's diebacks all over. It's GG. The cut run out of firepower. No answer to Envy. This is Envy's game,
Radiant's middle
and Black and Yellow take it.
Yeah, he's way too farmed. I like Dire's draft, Radiant. Like I said, I feel like they lack the ability to make the game fast enough, and that maybe was because they didn't do as well as they hoped in their lanes. Right, we saw the Bristleback struggle early. Decent game, and I like to see that they were still making moves in the end, even though it looked a little hopeless. Yeah, but well played by Black and Yellow. I think they continue to look better and better each and every week. I didn't like their draft at all in game 1, and they almost lost if there wasn't for that timely DC from Little Nick. But this game 2, they looked very solid.
Yeah. And, I think the sad thing for the cut is, that game 1, of course, everyone's going to talk about like, oh man, coulda, shoulda, maybe won. Unfortunately, the DC play with a standing here. But these series are kind of why I think, sometimes panelists talk about the cut. They haven't looked bad. They haven't looked totally out of place, even though they are, unfortunately, now 0-12. Yeah,
I think this was one of the series where I went like way too hipster with my prediction. I think I bet on the cut twice this week or something. So
yeah,
unfortunately, my predictions are wrong, but not a bad series. At least we had the first game was obviously not great, but this game was okay.
Yeah, felt like we should be headed to a game 3 right now with both teams having a kind of decisive win.
With Puck winning both the games, it would have been a nice story for sure. So unfortunate series for the cut.
Yeah. Well, unfortunate for the cut. They're still searching for that first win, and I believe they've only got one best of 3 left to try and achieve that. But to kind of wrap up the rest of today's NA DPC action, we're going to take a quick break and head back to Dakota and the panel.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is Black and Yellow who secure the W on this one. The cut, unfortunately, still going to be looking around for that first win here, but the Black and Yellow saga goes on here. I'm back with Jenkins, and I'm back with my good buddy Suns fan here. Gentlemen, game number 2, the cut showed up, unfortunately, still without Lil Nick. They did have Red 2 as a replacement, I got to say, for what it was, for such a quick stand-in. He tried to hold his own. They had the Bristle boss, but on the other side, you have Envy, and you have that Luna, and once he comes online, you better look out. And that's, the story as it goes, according to the commentators. What was your take on it, Jenkins?
My take on it was that I think Black and Yellow played that game a lot better than the first game. I think that with their draft, it was easier to play a lot better. It was far more well-rounded, plenty of stuns, plenty of heroes to, run around, group fight while Envy was farming. And sure, you have this scary Bristleback hero, but he didn't go for an Ags. So I was kind of surprised by that. He didn't seem as potent without the Ags, just seemed like the old hero. And I think once Black and Yellow figured out that the way that they needed to take fights was to kill everybody else and then use the Hoodwink break last and then kill the Bristleback, every single fight started looking really good for them. Despite Tingle King's really nice performance on the Pangolier, I'm really happy to see him have a few really solid games in a row because we're we have high expectations for this guy. Everybody talks about him. He's the mysterious, high-skilled dude, and you just want to see him do well. So it's good to see him back in his regular form. Unfortunately, with the DC and with the stand-in, all this other jazz, they don't get the win. And Black and Yellow also looking on point, of course.
Suns fan, what your take on Black and Yellow? Game 1 probably a bit rough at the start for them considering the situation, but game 2 they pull it back. They still have Titans like EG to face around the corner. Do they have the opportunity to pull out an upset based on what you've seen today?
I still think they can do it. Yes. Envy factor is always there. They looked a lot better in game 2. Obviously we're going to be talking about the stand-in and whatnot, and obviously they're going to be out of sorts and especially demoralized after game 1 for the cut. And from the Cuts perspective, they had a couple good high ground attempts. They didn't really use the Aegis very well. The lineup just felt like it was kind of on a timer versus this Luna. And you do have the Dark Portrait, but didn't really see its full effect. It was kind of just used to make it was kind of an annoyance for all intents and purposes, just pushing back the wave, preventing the push for a little bit longer. But it felt inevitable that the Luna was just going to completely dumpster the buildings.
And from what it sounds like, we do have none other than himself, Mr. Eternal Envy, going to be joining us as the winner interview call-in. So welcome to the broadcast and GG's. Eternal Envy, how's it going?
Hello. I see two of me right now. One sec. Confused.
It's okay. We only see one of you, so you're coming through just fine on the stream. Nice living room. Love the Christmas tree, even though it's not Christmas. So, I like the festive cheer year round. And I gotta ask, because I'm sure a lot of people are curious. Game one, it seemed like from the outside you guys were not doing so hot up until the disconnect situation. How did you guys feel up to that point? Did you feel like you still had a stake in the game and there was plenty to work with, or do you feel like things kind of worked out for the better because of the disconnect?
I think there was like a 30% chance. I'm pretty sure if he didn't disconnect, it would have been a pretty hard game. But it really depends. Like if they took the same fight bottom as they did with Little Nick there, I think that's how we come back into this game. So yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be hard to say. I'm thankful that you're able to finally step on, because I have been meaning to ask. Esk as a mid laner is kind of a new name on the scene, but we've known him for some of the tier 2, tier 3 teams. I know that as the story goes, you had originally tried out for like a team, but you felt Esk was still a good player and kind of brought him over to Black and Yellow. Is that true? And if so, like, what do you have to say about Esk? Do you still think he's like a good player? Like, we just haven't heard much about him. I'm curious about your take on him.
No, it's definitely true. He just even though he's been playing competitively for a while, he was only playing Axolotl, so he's definitely inexperienced. I think some of these games he's been kind of ruining his own game, but I think if he plays confidently, he's pretty damn good.
I of course do have Jenkins and Sunsfane here, which means you're at the mercy of their questioning. So Jenkins, I'll let you go first.
Okay, I have two questions this time. Both are a little on the memeier side, but I would also argue they're kind of serious. So first question, if there was a single anime that you would tell somebody to watch to be better, to get better at Dota, to inspire them to be good at Dota, what anime would you choose?
Haikyuu.
What's that one? What's the English?
It's a I have to explain. It's a volleyball anime. It talks about teamwork a lot. It talks about it just really hypes you up, and but it's not just pure hype like Kuroko no Basket or something. It's it really dives deeply into the personal relationships and your personal drive and your mentality. For example, one of the scenes was he's on a serve, and then they were in enemy court, and everyone was cheering against him and booing them as he serves, and his mentality was oh nice, it's me versus the world, and it's just that type of mentality can really help you sometimes.
Great answer. Yeah, awesome, cool. I'll check that one out after I'm done Demon Slayer. Anyway, Arteezy messaged somebody. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was getting messaged during the series. I think it might have been Owie, and he was saying, "Tell Envy to stop playing for 6 items." What do you have to say to the defactors out there that say that you play too much for the late game?
Wait, stop. Wait, was it this game?
Not this game. It was another series. I think Arteezy was saying Envy plays for 6 items. Do you agree with that?
I mean, it's better than dying with Razor to an Assassin. I'd rather just farm the 6 items and win the game than try to be impatient and jump them and die, or get jumped and die.
Fair. Okay. Sounds fair.
Okay, thank you, Jenkins. Eternal Envy, congratulations on the victory. I have 3 questions for you. This will be a first.
God, you guys.
I had 2 originally, but I see
we've
the
been waiting
Christmas
so
tree.
long.
I see the Christmas tree behind you. Can you give us a little talk about what that's about? Because I just I was forced to by my girlfriend to take down the Christmas tree 2 days ago because I kept it up for mental health reasons. So what's going on back there?
I don't know. It's like it's not really a normal Christmas tree. It's like pretty cursed. There's just like some Halloween decorations on there. There's like a bunch of weird photos on there that people shouldn't see these things. You know, it's just a fucked up tree.
Good to know. All right.
Okay.
Question
There's
number
like
two.
there's like an eye mask on there somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I have the burning question that everybody wants to know. Jenkins kind of highlighted it a bit, but what is it? Because I find you to be the most entertaining player by far in the entire Dota game. What is it about you and the super late game ridiculous Dota 2 matches that you seem to be a part of, like all of them? What from your perspective, what is the reasoning behind that?
I think like I don't really I kind of just play to win. I don't really like, get antsy or bored. So I think about the win condition. I think about how is it I can win the game, how is it I can lose the game. What's the highest chance for me to win the game? And like even if the chances are like 70% to win the game, I will actually want to make it higher before I do something retarded. So it makes it so that like we have like 35,000 goal leads on like Fnatic or some shit at TI before we end the game at like minute 40 against Liquid. Like it's just like how we maximize the game to get the highest advantage we can before we end the game. And then when I'm losing the game, it's like how do I sneak out? Like how do I sneak in there like some farm? How do I make it so that they get annoyed and then when they split up we can pick them off and like shit like that. Like just like I think a lot about like how to win or lose a game.
I see. Okay, cool.
uh,
All right, third and final question from me. Sorry, Dakota. You had an absolute obsession about 6 months ago with TFT. Are you still playing it, or are you playing any other games on top of Dota? What's going on there?
No, I don't. I generally just don't play more than one game. It's just like competitively. There was like
Monogamous gamer.
I was just like kind of demotivated in Dota. I didn't really know. Obviously, I actually didn't know I was not motivated for Dota. Like if you see like a lot of these like players in NA who like just the shorter items like a minute 4 or like they just like GG out. Like these players like they're not really like even like sometimes like I see Quentin like he's playing and he's like flaming all his teammates and he's like he's like kind of getting really annoyed. I feel like I've been there. A lot of players have been there, and it's like you're kind of just playing to play. You're probably just playing to get quote unquote better, but you're actually not enjoying the experience anymore. You're not enjoying your pubs, like or like 30%, 40% of your pubs, and I didn't really realize that because when I played TFT, I realized like just how much more I liked it than Dota at the time, and I was like, oh, this is how learning actually feels. You know, like it doesn't feel like I mean, that's what I learned. Like when I was playing TFT, I realized like I was like stuck in this like endless shitty loop in Dota, and then like now I'm back, but like my mentality has like kind of changed, like from that shitty loop mentality.
great answer.
But you know, sometimes I
great
still get back in there. Like, this game
Nice.
kind of just causes that to happen.
Yeah. There, you can't leave
does.
Dota. We all
It
know there's
does.
an addiction there for sure. But great to hear you have like a new perspective on the game, at least from your time at TFT. I know I want to know more questions, but you got this new tattoo. It's super sick. But everybody says when you get one tattoo, though, you get the itch to get another. Do you want to get another tattoo? It's now that you've got the one, do you like have an itch that you need to get more?
I might get something haiku related, but it's like it's not gonna be anything like this. Like, it's gonna be very small, I think. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about getting a tattoo for like years, and like I didn't want to get anything unless I thought it was kind of amazing. Like I don't want something random, or like mediocre just to have a tat. So it took me a long time to like decide to get this, and I don't think I'm gonna get anything for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I would be happy with that. That looks pretty awesome. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the feedback. So good stuff, Envy. Congratulations on the win. Thank you for answering all the questions. It was great to finally talk with you. So best of luck with the rest of Black and Yellow's DPC journey, my man.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye, Envy. Lots of love in the chat. Envy always still grinding away in those pubs and streaming, so you know where to find him if you want to go get your, fill of Envy. I'm sure he'll be right back in the pubs there tonight. Great to finally talk with him as
That
well.
was a
It's been
good
so
interview,
long.
dude. I'm gonna
That
say
was the best.
he is so good. He is so good. I hope they send him more. I like a lot of players on their team. I think they do hilarious interviews. Like Jube interviews are just, I hate my fans. Like, they're great. They're great. Yeah.
Well,
What
I
a-
think
all
one
the
thing
answer
I'd
players
like
have said that.
I'd like to highlight from what he was talking about, because this is something that a lot of people don't really focus on, is the mental health aspect for it doesn't even have to be just professional gaming, just anything career wise. I think across all fields, but doing something that helps your mental state. So stepping away, playing another game, leaving your Christmas tree up until fucking May, which I did as well until 2 days ago. Like whatever you need to do to get through each day in a happy
And watching
manner, do
anime.
it.
Yeah,
Yes, or
of course.
watch
Volleyball
Jenkins
anime.
stream. You know, great stuff.
I loved it.
Don't
So
do that.
with that said, I don't think we got to look at a standings call out yet. So with this win from Black and Yellow, we can see what this means for them moving forward, because they do have a couple of pretty hefty matches ahead of them. I know they at least still have to play EG. So that is a tough test, and maybe they could play upset, potentially create some crazy tiebreaker situation at the top yet again. But the unfortunate sad story is the cut currently being 0-6. They only have one more chance to try to get the win. I can't think off the top of my head who they have left to play. Analysts, do you happen to know by chance who the
Nope.
cut have not played yet? Have they played Sad Boys yet? I don't think they have, right?
They
Obviously
have to play
not.
Sad Boys, and they
Yeah.
have to play.
That's it. There's
Ooh.
only one game
It's
left.
a
that's
battle
it,
for
that's
the
it.
win.
That's
They
literally
have to play
Oh,
Arkosh, I'm
goodness.
pretty sure, right? Arkosh.
eventually. I mean, if it keeps going this way, they'll probably be down there
they'll
playing
be
Arkosh in the
playing
sewers.
Arkosh soon enough. I mean, obviously an incredibly heartbreaking story today for the cut, for Little Nick, and that unfortunate power situation. I mean, I'd be just cursing the gods above if I was in his shoes. So a rough stuff for them. I wouldn't mind also shifting production over to the week's schedule, just so we can kind of see what's in store for us coming up the next time we are live. I know between now and then we do have Saturday, which is a lower division day. Be sure to check out Wind and Rain taking on Team Dog Champ, still undefeated, hoping to claim one of those two spots to move up into upper division. On the other side of that coin, you still have D2 Hustlers at the top, undefeated. They're looking to keep that streak alive and go against Five-Man Midas. We return. The gang returns on Sunday. Evil Geniuses versus Simply Two-Based. You know, if this was the start of the season, I'd say that this was expected to be a shellacking. But I got to say, gentlemen, Simply Two-Based, you know, they're on the up and up. They're getting some surprising wins, and maybe we could see them do some funny business against EG. And then afterward, it's Undying versus Sad Boys. And I don't know what to expect from that. You know, Suns fan, I'm expecting Sad Boys hopefully come, maybe change things up a bit. Otherwise, it will definitely be just a play for the win between them and the cut.
Yep, I agree. I mean, we've talked about it before. It feels like we're watching Sad Boy and it's just not the same players. Like they're just playing under different names. And I don't know what the reason for that is, because I know that each person is very skilled individually. So still waiting for that team to do something. You know, it just doesn't make any logical sense. So hopefully they can get it together and maybe get some upset wins.
Yeah, it all went downhill when they changed their name to Sad Boys from Penta Ace. So
That's true.
maybe they should
kinda
come back
did.
and change it. I don't know.
Well, we'll leave you with that to sign things off on behalf of Jenkins Suns fan. Who else did we have today? We had Lyrical, we had GoDz, we had Owie, we had PPD, production, and of course, Pop Tart. Can't forget my good old Pop Tart.
There he is.
We'll be back, or we won't be back, but DPC broadcast action will return on Saturday with more lower division. We'll see you then. Take care.